Hello, I'm Shannon with Waffle Flower, and I'm here at Scrapbook.com to show you guys how we are going to create this really beautiful card with our brand new Magnolia stamp set. We're going to do some easy watercoloring and some water embossing. We're going to start by creating our beautiful gold embossed striped background. To create this, we're just going to use water and a paintbrush. I have an A2 panel here of watercolor paper. I have a flat 3/8 of an inch brush that I'm going to use. Any flat head brush will work. This will just create about 3/4 of an inch stripes. And I have some water. Just going to start by adding some anti-static powder to the entire panel. This is just going to make sure that the embossing powder sticks to where we brush with our water. I'll dip my brush into the water, and I'm going to start with my first stripe right here at the top. Get a little bit more water there. I'm going to go ahead and make my second one. There we go. And now I'll dip these two water stripes that I've made into some gold embossing powder. There we go. Now I'll just heat set with my heat tool. Now that I heat set, you can see the beautiful shine from that gold embossing powder. I'm going to repeat this process for a couple more stripes. Once I heat set those last two stripes, I'm done with my striped background. Now that my background is done, I'm now going to work on coloring my flowers. So I've already stamped several flowers from the Magnolia stamp set onto some watercolor cardstock. I stamped them in VersaFine Onyx black ink, and now I'm going to color them in with some Tombow dual brush pen markers. I just have 4 shades picked out. That's all I need to color all these flowers and leaves today. I'm going to start with the center of my flowers, and I'm going to use this yellow and this red. I'm just going to color directly on the paper with the markers. This is some very quick and easy coloring. Once I've got the yellow down, I'm going to move on to my red and just color the very center of the flower with this red-orange color. Now I'll take a brush, this is a round brush, and I'll dip it in the water, and then I'll take my damp brush and kind of activate that ink from the markers to kind of color in these petals. I'm just barely coloring them in because I want this flower to remain fairly white for most of the petals. And that will complete the center on that flower. I'm now going to repeat this process for the other 4 flowers. So now that I have the centers done, I'm now going to move on to the purple for the tips of the flower. Just going to do this big flower here. I'm going to take the purple and color each tip of the petal. So every petal here will get a little bit of that purple at the very end. You don't have to be very, very careful here because we're going to blend this out with our damp brush. So now that I have all the petals with a little bit of purple, I'll take my brush, get a little damp, and then just soften where the purple meets the white, blending that out to make a nice gradation. This adds just a little bit of color to the tips of the petals. That will complete that flower. Now I'm going to repeat that process for the remaining flowers, but before I do that, I'm going to show you guys how I color these leaves, because that's very simple. I'm just going to use one marker here. This is kind of a blue-green color. I'm going to start at the base of the leaf, not color the entire leaf, just the edge where it meets the flower. Then again with the damp brush, go over that ink a little bit to activate it, and then pull that color out to the very edge of the leaf. This will kind of create a natural gradation. I'll just continue this process till I have all my leaves and all my flowers colored. So once I finished coloring the flowers and leaves, I went ahead and die cut them out with the matching dies as well as the sentiment with the matching die. And I also added some foam tape to the back of all my flowers and leaves, just a couple pieces just to prop it up. I did only do half of my sentiment though, because I know a portion of this is going to sit on top of the flowers, so I don't have to put foam tape on that. So we're just about ready to put this card together, but the first thing I need to do is to take our gold panel and add it to our A2 card base. I'm going to use some liquid adhesive to do this. Just apply some liquid glue to the back of that embossed panel. Then I'll line it up with our card. Put a good hold just till that glue sets so it lays completely flat. All right, there we go. Now that the panel is down, I'm going to start to assemble our bouquet of flowers here. I'll start with the main flower, just remove that backing on the foam tape. Have that a bit angled. So we're just about done with this card. We're going to finish it up with some embellishments. Waffle Flower has some brand new enamel dots. This is the Clean and Clear pack. I'm going to use a couple of these clear enamel dots and add them to the leaves just to make it look like dewdrops. I think it's a great way to finish up any card with flowers, adding these little dewdrops. Do one more up here to kind of balance it out. And there we go, that will complete the card. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more from Scrapbook.com, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a message.